Today we're going to talk about why it's important to study and read literature. For me at this moment, it's important because I got to pass my class, try to get my degree. But there are more outstanding reasons to do it. Uh, some of the books we read this semester were All Quiet on the Western Front, Metamorphosis, Scarlet Letter, Shakespeare. Yeah, okay. I haven't read Shakespeare since 1983, and I didn't like it then, and really didn't care a whole lot for it this time either. Uh, to the extent of the stories were fine, but the vocabulary was tough for me to come about. Really, how I began to learn with the Merchant of Venice and them was I would listen to the story and read it at the same time, and that really helped me relate to uh, the story better. Uh, like I said, that medieval whatever language they were using kind of threw me off. Uh, but you look at it, study it, and reading it. I was always a Tom Clancy guy, a Stephen King guy. I really enjoyed All Quiet on the Western Front because I'm also a military guy, uh, and I could relate to that. It was one of those things. We got a lot of young men and women today that are at war. That doesn't have the support system, or that have the support system they didn't have back then, which made it more difficult. You know, I went over there and spent some time and away from family, away from my mom, away from my wife and my siblings, and it's rough. And when you come back, it's you don't really want to talk, and that made it interesting reading that book because I didn't think that you could really apply that to today, in which you can. Uh, there's also the barriers out there, and it's amazing. And I've talked to some of my cohorts. It's amazing that the how the stories that were written back in the 1800s and everything is applicable today. You look at some of the things going on in society. I put it in my post, and please, it's not political, but kind of is. Uh, look at the man who brought down Hanleyburg. They were incorruptibles. 19 of them. They were perfect. They were also very cocky about that. And a certain stranger decided he was going to bring them down. So what happens when you dangle a carrot in front of somebody with, money, success, this or that? It changes people most of the time. Sometimes for the good, a lot of times for the bad. And so he came up with this scheme. Basically, if you've ever read the book, and if you haven't, just a history on it, of giving somebody some money, actually $40,000, because they were kind to him in Hadleyburg. And at first, it was one couple that knew about it because he dropped the money off with them, and then another couple knew. And schemed it to where he sent a letter to all 19 of the incorruptibles saying that they were the ones that helped him. And they literally sat down and tried to figure out, well, what did I do to help him? How did I help him? How did I do this? How did I do that? And a lot of them talked themselves into believing it. And the wives went out and they started spending money. Because, hey, we got all this money. Well, if you're perfect, stuff like that doesn't happen. And when I said look at today's society, you look at the election. Miss Clinton, she was a shoo-in, according to a bunch of people. She was going to win. There was no two ways about it. She had this. Well, we all know what happened. And look at the last year. Our once solid government, if you want to call it solid, became pretty petty. And they're still petty today. And they didn't get what they wanted. And kind of like that stranger, he got what he wanted, but it flipped the script on Hadleyburg. They were no longer the Incorruptibles, and actually, I can't remember what it was. They ended up changing their name over it, the name of the town, due to not having that distinction anymore. One of the better books I read and watched people and how they grew back in that time is Metamorphosis was a good book. You overwork yourself, you do this, you do that, and all of a sudden you're in this little cocoon. Dude turned into a bug, which was interesting. Kafka is a quite interesting person. Kind of getting off kilter, but studying it helped me a lot. It opened up, brain cells, or got some more penguins back on the iceberg that I lost due to some of my ambitions. But, It happens. Uh, but studying all that helped me realize that people are people. You know, things really haven't changed a whole lot when it comes to attitudes. Uh, Technology's changed. You know, they couldn't really sit here and film this today and put it on YouTube and all that. And you know, I actually had to get help with this. I'm not a technical guy, and had to get one of my buddies to help me out and to record this and put it out there. Uh, but go ahead and read. Try to read as much as you can. Like I said, my biggest concern with studying and reading was I want to pass the class. Will I continue reading and studying? Maybe. I don't know. But there'll be other classes out there. And it helps. You know, if you got children out there, get them into the books. Like I said, Shakespeare's tough. I mean, he's a great writer. He's tough. You know, I read King Lear and those books and went to the plays and stuff in high school. And then I forgot about it. And I'm more the straightforward, here it is, put it on the plate. That way you got to figure out the word. Because some of those words I had to go look up, which I said makes you more intelligent because you have to go and look up and read the definitions. So overall, the class was really a good class. I enjoyed it. Our professor, Mr. Ebbing, made it fun. It was great. But like I said, continue doing what you're doing. Everybody that I was in the class with was really fun, reading your post, discussing stuff, discussing the books. You brought out some interesting stuff. I actually studied your discussion points as much as I did the books to learn your opinions. And it kind of tells you, you know, when people write and you read, it kind of tells you about the person and who the person is, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, and I'm not calling anybody bad, just saying. But I studied that also. You study the literature, but then you also study the replies to the literature. And it really helped me. It really did in going through and looking at stuff. And, you know, y'all replying to mine. Give me your opinions. You know, while I formed my opinion of what you wrote, you formed an opinion of mine and gave it back to me, which helped, in some cases, helped me succeed. There was a couple of failures in this. You know, I could have done better on some stuff, but it is what it is. But like I said, if you got kids out there, keep studying and reading. For you young college kids, you know, I'm an old dude trying to get this done. Stay on it. Stay on it as much as possible. I know there's a couple of you out there that it struggled as well as I did, and that was from looking at videos and reading the post. And but carry on. Like I said, some of it's fun, some of it's not fun. I do suggest to you out there, if you're having to read, say, The Merchant of Venice, something like that, I listened to it and read it at the same time. And it helped me relate to the characters within the story. It really did. You know, getting the name straight, getting this, getting that, because you're reading a play. You don't know who's there. So just a tidbit, maybe something to help you out. Just stay in the books. Read it. You know, because 200 years from now, if we're still around, somebody's going to be doing this video because they had to read the books for English Lit. And they're saying, man, 2000 the same as we are now. You know, the Hadleyburgs. But pretty much, I enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. It was a great class. Stay in your books, read your literature, and hit up Shakespeare. All right, guys, I'm out. You'll have a good one.
Got it? Do you want to watch it?